Bitcoin update. Bitcoin right now is at 85.5. And what you're seeing right now is in a falling wedge. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because there is some bullish indicators that to happen, and it's going to cross between trend lines analysis, but also patterns and the stock RSI. So I'm going to try to keep this simple between, like I do with trend lines and the Bollinger Bands. Now we're going to go into the patterns and the stock RSI. Right now, you see Bitcoin on the daily respecting the falling wedge pattern, and it is still respecting the Bollinger Bands. You did see on the daily. It was a little fake out. There's a lot of people that put in shorts right here, and they did get that for the wick down, but now that gave it enough momentum where if you see where my mouse is circling right there, that is starting to hit up against this diagonal resistance that has been for a few months, since December. We started seeing the top of this diagonal resistance form, and again, there is bottom support. Now, what you're seeing on the daily, and I'm going to go in a little bit closer, and again, I'm only making this video because there are some things that might change. This has been my thesis for a while, but anybody that sticks to their bias, even though there's other opportunities presented in front of them, are fools, in my opinion. But right now, you're seeing Bitcoin did, and I'm going to use a marker, break over this 20-day EMA. And if I keep this going here and follow me, this blue line all the way through the middle of this Bollinger Band, it's the short-term moving average, which you usually see some pretty good support or resistance off of. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. But what you're seeing right now, it's pretty incredible because I really haven't moved any of these lines uh, since I put them in there. Every video I make, you see these same lines because I don't change my thesis. People that change their lines are changing their thesis constantly, in my opinion. But right now, you're seeing that solid bounce off of the support at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, and it did give it enough oomph to get over the 20-day EMA, and right now, or I'm sorry, SMA, and right now I think that you could see some serious support here to this resistance, and this could cause a squeeze. And this could be enough momentum. What it's trying to do, if you're following my cursor, is this is the upper Bollinger Band, which kind of goes in line with what's happening with the trend lines too, right? But if you do see this find support on this 20-day EMA, I'm sorry, SMA, this might give it enough oomph to actually break through that resistance. If it starts breaking through resistance, it's going to chase the top of that Bollinger Band at least. And if it does that, we're going to have a different conversation because that would be breaking out of the falling wedge pattern. And one of the other things I see on this that coincide with this is the stock RSI. Right now, like I've always said, the 50 is the median line where you're going to see resistance if you're looking down at the bottom of my screen, or you're going to see support, and you're definitely seeing where this might have bottomed out at this point. We're finding out right now, and this is where it coincides, we're finding out right now if the stock RSI is going to use the 50 as a resistance and get rejected, and that would be this getting rejected up here against this diagonal resistance. Or you're going to see if the stock RSI starts peeking its head above this 50 mark, you might see it use as support for its next move up, and that would coincide with this breakout here if this breakout were to happen. And that's the bullish aspect of it. And I just wanted to throw that out there because, I'm not going to stick to a bearish aspect if things start flipping bullish. I'm trying to keep it real for everybody, right? So right now, my thesis still is, and it's not going to change as of yet, that this rejects off of this diagonal trend line and still comes down to hunt the 73,000. Again, rising, broadening wedge. However, right now, Bitcoin's making a solid move. There is some news coming out of the White House, whatever else, um, that we're going to have some reserves happening with these as we've known, but more talk gives it some more notice on the grand scale, and people want in if that's what the government's going to do. So it's one of those things. I know tariffs could go either way, 50-50. Um, but at the same time, right now, what you're seeing with the technical analysis, the stock RSI, and this falling wedge pattern, as well as this inverse head and shoulders, and this is what I was showing you on the daily. Now, I did say that I opened up a quick long, and of course, it was a scalp, but I'm going to bring it down to the 1 hour. I'm not going to show crypto Twitter all of my trades. I'm privating my own trades, but on the 1 hour. right when this liquidated, because I saw this liquidated a lot of people. You see, this was a mini inverse head and shoulders, right? And I'm going to draw this out, and this is why I posted yesterday. Like, guys, there might be some bullish momentum in here. Um, right when this liquidated, I opened a long on that wick, just as hey, this might go the other way, and it was a great long. Did close it out because I'm not playing with where we are right now in the trenches. But I will say that inverse head and shoulders on the 1 hour led into me looking at the daily one more time because, like I said, I'm not keeping my eyes on the charts every single second of the day anymore. But that led me into being like, wait, if that inverse head and shoulders played out, there's a good chance that this one could too on the daily, and this would be a super huge inverse head and shoulders. Now, the next serious resistance, in my opinion, if this does break out of the falling wedge, now everybody knows there's a 67% chance that falling wedges break north, and when they do, typically they go to the high of the falling wedge, which will bring us back to the $110,000 mark. It's not going to go straight up. There is resistance, but the next resistance and the huge fake out could be, and I'm just going to draw it. So that I hate to put bullish over bearishness for TA, but this could break out. This could hit that 91,000, fake a lot of people out at that, and when you can see why this is a serious rejection point possibility, resistance, because it's pretty heavy. This has been holding the top of this rounding move for a minute. So once this hasn't really retested it, I did tell people at 93,000 back here, once this got sunk back down, that I thought that this was the rejection. And we did get that huge rejection, but there's a possibility of an inverse head and shoulders painting out and then this coming up here and being a stupid fake out. And that, I mean, that would ruin a lot of traders. The problem is right now is there's a ton of leverage in Bitcoin, right? There's a ton of leverage in crypto right now. So a lot of these huge moves are people just trying to shake out the millions of dollars that are on the table for leverage trading. But that is a little bit of bullish and bearish bad news on what the possibility of what you're looking at is. Again, I have no reason to believe that we didn't come all the way down here, not touch off the bottom of this rising broadening wedge. However, the stock RSI is starting to look reset and come up a little bit bullish right now, and we're just going to have to keep our eye on it. I'm making this video just to kind of keep it up to date as far as the moves. But right now, like I said, if that miniature inverse head and shoulders played out on the 1 hour to bring it back to where it is, I do like on the daily how this is sitting on top of that short-term moving average, the 20-day moving average, and I see no reason why this isn't coming back to hunt the top of this Bollinger Band, which is going to continue somewhere around that way. So if this does, this could easily break out of that falling wedge and start stair-stepping its way up to its next move. There is going to be resistance along the way, but right now my thesis hasn't changed. Just to let you know, I still think we're hunting down at 73,000 at some point. But there is a lot of trades to be had here. You just really have to look down to the 1 hour and the 15-minute to find those little scalps. These are tough swing trades because big money knows where the resistance and support is here. Like I've said before, I wouldn't consider myself a genius in this, but there are other people that definitely see these too. I don't see people on crypto Twitter talking about any of these trend lines, by the way. I could pull this straight out. I don't see anybody talking about these any of these trend lines. They say it's going up and they say it's going down, basically straight lines. But this is the logistics. Today, at the end of the day, you will know. That's what's awesome about today. And why I'm doing this. And in the news of the tariffs probably is given some of this boost, but there are patterns that are playing out. But this is going to show whether this rejects off this trend line and starts hunting its way down to that 73,000, 70,000 maybe, and then pops, right? Or if there's enough oomph right now, and that's why I'm making this video, because there's a possibility of this inverse head and shoulders playing out. I know that's horrible drawing, but you get my gist. And there's a possibility this is hunting the upper Bollinger Band. And if it does do that, it is going to break us out of that month-long falling wedge that we've been talking about. Gigantic falling wedge at that. And if we see that, then it's going to start stair-stepping. And like I said, that 91.5 is serious resistance because you can see the touch points back here. It's heavy, man. It's not going to break through the first time, in my opinion, right? This isn't going to go straight up. This thing has been cracked a bunch of times, which is cool. It is kind of like ice with a hammer. The more you crack it, the more it will break. but there's just going to be some resistance hitting that. Now, what it does after that, that's where you'll see what Bitcoin's really going to do next, right? Or this just rejects off of this diagonal resistance from the falling wedge, as it has been for that matter. So sorry to get it all like loopy with these drawings, but I just really wanted to show you where we're at. And there are patterns playing out, and like I said, that stock RSI is set to blow um, if it retests and goes over this 50 mark. If it goes over 50 and uses that as support and gets up here, it will start to give this some more momentum, and that is the indicator. That's the indicator you're really looking at if you're going to use indicators, is the Bollinger Band stock RSI, because you're looking for momentum in the market. You're looking for the volume really to start coming in, but you're not going to know that unless there's a little momentum shift. And if you're looking down here at the stock RSI, there has been a little momentum shift. There's a little cross that's happening, but it is right now hitting up against that 50 mark. So that is the point. You're going to know today what the stock RSI is going to do, and you're going to know today right here, if I'm going to circle, if this is going to give it enough oomph to be above that moving average, that 20-day moving average, and if this can break through. If this breaks through that falling wedge, I'm going to flip bullish, and we're going to start talking about some of your altcoins a little bit more. The reason why I'm not talking about a lot of alts, and let me get over to CoinGecko really quick just to show you. I mean, if you're really looking at it, yeah, things are in the green, but everything is following Bitcoin right now. There's nothing that's really on its own. Everything, if you're looking over on the charts, it's all following Bitcoin. So it's just waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do. So I'm not going to sit here and chart, Monero or Pepe or, whatever other alt there is out there if everything's following Biddy. So the thing about Biddy is it's going to show. It's going to show really quick here today what this is going to do. And I did say way back here it's going to be sideways until like May. I said that in February. We have had sideways action until April. That's pretty good, right? I still think there's a little bit more sideways action, even if this breaks through that falling wedge. But if it does break through the falling wedge, we're going to be talking about sideways action going up. Right now, we're sideways action kind of going down, right? So we're going to see if we're going to change the thesis. Right now, it stays intact unless this inverse head and shoulders plays out, blows this through that falling wedge that we're looking at, and tries to get to this top of this upper Bollinger Band on the daily. Then we're going to have a different conversation. It's going to turn a little bit more bullish. Technical analysis, maybe you guys will like that, but that we're going to still keep it real. My thesis is still this is probably going to reject off of this trend line. It's going to fake a lot of traders out, and I'm still thinking at this moment that we're going to do one of these and kind of maybe come down to touch that 73,000, and then it'll give an oomph to break out. But we're going to know today. And if this changes today, if this thing decides that it wants to break out right now, then I'm going to make another video, and I'm going to let you know as soon as possible. The beauty of this is I'm not one way only, and I'm not just feeding you one way only, although I think 73,000 is still a huge target. If this changes on any news that we have, I'm going to make another video. I'm going to let you know. Much love, guys. If you need anything, just let me know. Just stay tuned, because I'll be probably making a follow-up video pretty soon just to let you know. Every move isn't a gigantic move. That's why I don't make a lot of videos, but I believe this next couple moves on the daily are going to be a gigantic move to let you know and indicate which way this is really the setup to go. So, all right, guys, much love. If you need anything, just let me know, and I will respond to you the best that I can and lead you the right way, in my opinion. All right, bro. Take care, guys.